competition, you definitely want to have harder, stricter rules that, to put it no other better way, is to punish the player for making mistakes.
Right, yeah. Because, we're sitting here watching these guys try to max out. And pretty much anyone who's played a lot of Tetris, if you know Tetris well enough, like if you play, for example, Tetris DS, you can max out the score. You can last forever. You know what I mean? There's no point in which you will die in Tetris DS if you know what you're doing. And so, for sure, the rules are a lot more lenient. But, obviously it makes sense that they want to do that for that version, for Tetris, to try to make it a little bit more easy to play. But for competitions, it's fun to watch it be brutal when you're not on the receiving end of it. Let's put it that way.
Right. If this game were to be introduced to the market right now, most people would probably consider it to be too hard. The very fact that there are a lot of happy miracle coincidences that made this balance of difficulty possible. We're not sure if Nintendo in Japan designed it specifically to max out right on the level of possibility. Who would have thought that 30 years after the game's released that people are still trying to max out the game, and maybe there's only 20 people in the world who can do it. But it's right on the edge of possibility of being possible, and that mixture of difficulty and design makes it, a very successful game in its own right, even at that difficulty.
Yeah. And again, this is and look, I'm gonna say this right now, right? I mentioned earlier that I play Tetris DS all the time. I'm definitely not trying to say either one of these versions of Tetris is better than the other. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this one is more pure, you should play this version compared to other versions and stuff. I definitely like a lot of the strategies that modern Tetris builds at the higher levels. I appreciate all forms of Tetris.
On that note, James, what's your favorite version of Tetris?
Right now, it probably is the DS version, mostly just because I think the versus mode is really good on there. But the biggest problem with it, obviously, is that you can set up the back-to-back triple T-spins too easily if you just, memorize the few starting patterns.
Right, yeah, once you have a T-spin well set up, you can kind of use it over and over and over again.
Yeah, and that's kind of the unfortunate part. But there's something about the way that version feels to me that I really like.
Yeah. And I love the retro throwbacks in that game. Just the way they have the chiptune music and a lot of throwbacks to classic NES games. Before NES Remix was around, it was the closest thing that they had to a NES throwback game. So yeah, I enjoyed that game a lot myself as well. Oh, and also that it had the multiplayer. You could just, have one cartridge, and if other people had a DS, you could play multiplayer with just one cartridge. That was an amazing feature for that game. I'm a big fan of that version myself. My favorite Tetris game of all time is probably Super Tetris 2 plus Bombliss on the Super Famicom.
Whoa, okay.
Limited edition.
Okay.
It's close to this version, except it runs at 60 frames per second. It has a lot smoother piece movement. It has a little bit where you can move the pieces off of the edge. So it's not as strict as this game, but I just like the features that it has. The Bombliss mode is really addictive, and just how smooth it looks and feels is probably why I like it so much.
Yeah, and also, I haven't played it enough. I played, in fact, there was one point in time, right when I graduated college, this will tell you how old I am, but the first Tetris Grandmaster came out. And, right when I had graduated from college, I had a bout with insomnia. I couldn't fall asleep because I was stressed out trying to find a job. And then Tetris the Grandmaster came out at the arcade, at the UCLA arcade. And I started playing that a bunch of times. And then when I started going to sleep, I would see Tetris blocks dropping in my brain. And it helped, it cured my insomnia.
Yeah, I kind of missed that. Just kind of playing Tetris, in your head.
Yeah.
Without actually having the game hooked up. I guess they call it the Tetris effect. I believe that it has something to do with your brain adapting to patterns, and when your brain is challenged like that, when you're playing the game actively, it can start to try to work out those patterns even when you're not doing it.
Exactly, and I see Mr. Kevin DDR in the chat. Of course, one of the greatest players. He was is he the only U.S. Grandmaster so far? In Tetris the Grandmaster 3?
I think that's what the news was.
Yeah, I believe so. So yeah, but obviously a really strong player. I do have a place in my heart for Tetris the Grandmaster. In fact, I still think it has one of the most clever versus modes where the holes that you send over to your opponent are based on the lines that you clear. So it kind of creates a completely different strategy in the game.
Yeah, you can actually look at the other player's playfield and kind of screw them over by making the garbage appear, in an undesired position.
Exactly. So, yeah, I mean, I really want to get my hands on a Grandmaster board. I haven't really quite made the effort yet to do that, but that is definitely something I want to do. Because, to be honest with you, at one point in time, I wanted to start streaming myself playing that to see how close I can get to Grandmaster. I don't think I could ever get there, but I would love to see how close I could get there.
Yeah, we had a long time ago. I actually worked at BPS, which is a company that has the rights for Tetris, and they had an arcade Grandmaster machine in there. And when I saw it, I really liked how it played. It was smooth and fast, and but it was very intimidating because when you saw how fast that it got, and pieces would literally teleport to the bottom when they locked down, I was just like, oh man, it'll take me years to get good at this, and don't have time for that right now. But maybe someday when I get really bored.
Yeah, but Tetris, again, like I said, it's always been my favorite game of all time. I think it's the most well-made video game, and a lot of it is just because, like you said, how I'm not sure if it is what Nintendo planned to do with it, the kill screen happening just right when you can max out and stuff, but a lot of the game's rules really write themselves. You know what I mean? There's really not. You didn't have to go out of your way to make up a bunch of rules to make Tetris work. It just worked. So.
Okay, for the people joining us now, we've got almost 6,000 people in the room now. We've got some new people joining us. This is sort of like a preview event for the Classic Tetris World Championships that we're going to be having this year at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. And all of these competitors are going to be there. These are some of the best Classic Tetris players in the world. We've got 5-time Tetris World Champion Jonas Neubauer here, and we've got 1-time Classic Tetris World Champion Harry Hong here. So we've got the 2 guys who have won at all these for the 6 years that we've had it. And also Quaid, who came in 2nd place last year. All the 3 of these guys are playing it, as well as tournament organizer Vincent Clemente, who's in our upper left corner screen there. We're all trying to have them get their scores as high as possible, which will determine our seeding order for the tournament that we're going to be having in about 7 minutes. So we're going to be doing a reset, and we're going to be going to 1v1 competitive play relatively soon. But right now, we're just trying to max out the scores and get them as high as possible. And if you look at our leaderboard, Quaid is actually on top. He was our 2nd place winner last year, and he has a high score of 930,000 plus points.
Yep. So yeah, once we get to the one-on-one, it's going to be a very different strategy between the players. They're just going to be able to play they're going to be able to adjust their strategy based on what they can see from the other person's play field. For example, if they can see themselves with a significantly higher score, they'll be dangerous because they got to glance over and process that really fast. But if they can see that they have a significantly higher score, they can play a little bit safer. Yeah. All right, so Quaid right now at 617. So this is a huge opportunity to try to take the. Oh, well, he has
Jonas
a lead
just
right
took
now.
Jonas is 940. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Jonas is Tetris. He might max out.
Oh my God.
He's at level 28. If he gets another Tetris, we could see it.
Are we gonna see a max out here? Nice. Slice that right up. Oh, great piece for him.
Building it up.
It's too early for that one long piece.
Oh, okay. He's ready. All we need is the long piece. There. Nope.
Long piece. Where's the long piece?
Uh-oh.
Come on.
Not like this. Come on, Tetris. Let's see it. Oh, there it is. Boom,
Tetris
is.
maxed out.
He's done it and
29.
just got him to level 29.
Maxed out. Our first player to max out is Jonas Neubauer, 5-time Tetris World Champion.
And just like that, jumping up 2 spots. Woo, nice.
Amazing.